Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A formal message requesting something that is submitted to an authority. Reverent petition to a deity. Write a petition for something to somebody. Request formally and in writing. Logic. A declaration of something self-evident. Something that can be assumed as the basis for argument. A formal message requesting something that is submitted to an authority. Express the need or desire for. She requested an extra bed in her room. The verbal act of requesting. A formal message requesting something that is submitted to an authority. Ask a person to do something. I requested that she type the entire manuscript. Inquire for information. I requested information from the secretary. Reverent petition to a deity. Earnest or urgent request. Someone who prays to God. The act of communicating with a deity, especially as a petition or in adoration or contrition or thanksgiving. The priest sank to his knees in prayer. Reverent petition to a deity. A fixed text used in praying. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. Considerable capital, wealth or income. The idea that is intended. What a communication that is about something is about. The choicest or most essential or most vital part of some idea or experience. A particular kind or species of matter with uniform properties. Shigella is one of the most toxic substances known to man. Material of a particular kind or constitution. The immune response recognizes invading substances. The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists. DNA is the substance of our genes. What a communication that is about something is about. A communication, usually brief, that is written or spoken or signaled. He sent a 3-word message. Send a message. Send a message to. She messaged the committee. Send as a message. She messaged the final report by fax. The state of being contented with your situation in life. He relaxed in sleepy contentedness. The amount that can be contained. What a communication that is about something is about. Satisfied or showing satisfaction with things as they are. A contented smile. The sum or range of what has been perceived, discovered, or learned. Something, a person or object or scene, selected by an artist or photographer for graphic representation. Usually plural. Everything that is included in a collection and that is held or included in something. He emptied the contents of his pockets. Make content. I am contented. Satisfy in a limited way. He contented himself with 1 glass of beer per day. The proportion of a substance that is contained in a mixture or alloy, etc. What a communication that is about something is about. The verbal act of requesting. Express the need or desire for. When you call, always ask for Mary. Increase the likelihood of. Ask for trouble. Be a signal for or a symptom of. Express the need or desire for. Express the need or desire for. Request the participation or presence of. Gather or collect. Require is useful, just, or proper. The act of searching for something. A quest for diamonds. Express the need or desire for. She requested an extra bed in her room. Bark with prolonged noises, of dogs. A search for an alternative that meets cognitive criteria. A quest for wealth. Make a search, for. Things that die with their eyes open and questing. Search the trail of, game. The dog went off and quested. Seek alms, as for religious purposes. Request for a sum of money. The act of enticing a person to do something wrong, as an offer of sex in return for money. An entreaty addressed to someone of superior status. A solicitation to the king for relief. Request for a sum of money. Several things grouped together are considered as a whole. The act of gathering something together. A publication containing a variety of works. Liquid preparation having a soothing or antiseptic or medicinal action when applied to the skin. The act of bringing something to bear, using it for a particular purpose. He advocated the application of statistics to the problem. The work of applying something. The doctor prescribed a topical application of iodine. A program that gives a computer instructions that provide the user with tools to accomplish a task. He has tried several different word processing applications. A diligent effort. It is a job requiring serious application. A verbal or written request for assistance or employment or admission to a school. December 31st is the deadline for applications. The action of putting something into operation. The application of maximum thrust. Attractiveness that interests or pleases or stimulates. His smile was part of his appeal to her. Request for a sum of money. An appeal to raise money for starving children. Earnest or urgent request. An appeal for help. Be attractive to. The idea of a vacation appeals to me. Request earnestly, something from somebody, ask for aid or protection. Appeal to somebody for help. Cite as an authority, resort to. I appealed to the law of 1900. Challenge, a decision. She appealed the verdict. Law. A legal proceeding in which the appellant resorts to a higher court for the purpose of obtaining a review of a lower court decision and a reversal of the lower court's judgment or the granting of a new trial. Their appeal was denied in the superior court. Take a court case to a higher court for review. He was found guilty but appealed immediately. Claim as due or just. The bank demanded payment of the loan. Required activity. There were many demands on his time. Require is useful, just, or proper. This position demands a lot of personal sacrifice. A condition requiring relief. There is a demand for jobs. An urgent or peremptory request. His demands for attention were unceasing. Ask to be informed of. I demand an explanation. Lay legal claim to. Request urgently and forcefully. The victim's family is demanding compensation. Summon to court. The ability and desire to purchase goods and services. The automobile reduced the demand for buggy whips. The act of demanding. The kidnapper's exorbitant demands for money. Request for a sum of money. A short prayer of thanks before a meal. Fourth Thursday in November in the United States. Second Monday in October in Canada. Commemorates a feast held in 1621 by the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag. A prayer asking God's help as part of a religious service. Calling up a spirit or devil. An incantation used in conjuring or summoning a devil. The act of appealing for help. The act of praying for divine protection. A ceremonial prayer invoking divine protection. A desirable state. Enjoy the blessings of peace. The formal act of approving. He gave the project his blessing. The act of praying for divine protection. A short prayer of thanks before a meal. A ceremonial prayer invoking divine protection. Call for and obtain payment of. We collected over $1 million in outstanding debts. Assemble or get together. Get or gather together. Payable by the recipient on delivery. A collect call. Gather or collect. Get or bring together. A short prayer generally preceding the lesson in the Church of Rome or the Church of England. A threat of divine punishment or vengeance. Prayers proclaiming God's anger against sinners, read in the Church of England on Ash Wednesday. The act of expressing disapproval, especially of yourself. A prayer to avert or remove some evil or disaster. A period of time past the deadline for fulfilling an obligation during which a penalty that would be imposed for being late is waived, especially an extended period granted as a special favor. The payment had originally been due on April 1st, but we had a grace period which expired in June. A short prayer of thanks before a meal. Their youngest son said grace. A sense of propriety and consideration for others. A place where the company of others must be accepted with good grace. Christian theology, the free and unmerited favor or beneficence of God. God's grace is manifested in the salvation of sinners. Be beautiful to look at. Make more attractive by adding ornament, color, etc. Christian theology, a state of sanctification by God, the state of one who is under such divine influence. The conception of grace developed alongside the conception of sin. Elegance and beauty of movement or expression. A beautiful figure which she used in subtle movements of unparalleled grace. A disposition to kindness and compassion. The victor's grace in treating the vanquished. Greek mythology, one of three sisters who were the givers of beauty and charm, a favorite subject for sculptors. The act of intervening, as to mediate a dispute, etc. A prayer to God on behalf of another person. A cylinder with prayers written on it. Each revolution counts as uttering the prayers, used especially by Buddhists in Tibet. A prayer for the repose of the soul of a dead person.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.